Hey guys, and welcome back to today's video. Today is January 27th, 2024, and today we're going to be going over a potential 2024 Joe Biden versus Donald Trump rematch. Now, starting off with the states that we do know will go to Joe Biden easily include Washington, Oregon, and California, along with Hawaii. Illinois is one of the only Midwestern states that we can say with 100% guarantee Joe Biden will win in 2024, along with most of the East Coast states, including Vermont, Massachusetts, Connecticut, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, D.C., and Rhode Island, and including the state of New York. Now, going to the more likely lean states, we can say Minnesota, Colorado, New Mexico, Virginia, New Hampshire will most likely go to Joe Biden with a margin between 5 and 10%. Now, Maine at large and Maine's 1st Congressional District will also be safe for Joe Biden. Going into the more likely states for Donald Trump and the safe states, we can say with 100% certainty Donald Trump will carry all of these states that you see are red above, which he will likely dominate in those states, leaving most of the percentage of the votes going to him. We can say that Texas most likely will go red for Donald Trump. Florida, most likely. North Carolina, Ohio, and Iowa, most likely going to Donald Trump, along with Nebraska's at large going to Donald Trump 100% certainty. Nebraska's 2nd Congressional District most likely will go to Joe Biden with just a small lead, and I'm going to put a tilt on Maine's 2nd Congressional District because there are still a lot of Democrats in that congressional district, but I feel like Donald Trump will still prevail there. Now, these are the 6 states that will determine the 2024 election. Now, going to Arizona first, we can see that in the 2022 gubernatorial election, Katie Hobbs beat Kari Lake by just 17,000 votes. Now, Arizona's 2 senators are Mark Haley and Kyrsten Sinema. Kyrsten Sinema used to be a Democrat. She ran as a Democrat, won Arizona's seat as a Democrat, but she just recently switched over and is an independent now. Mark Haley, the other actual real Democrat in that seat in Arizona, won in 2022 against Blake Masters, the Republican nominee, by 125,000 vote lead. This is, quite frankly, astonishing, seeing Arizona has completely flipped from the John McCain era, of which Republicans dominated. Mitt Romney, John McCain easily won those when they ran against former President Barack Obama in 2008 and 2012. But we can see this new age of politics in Arizona where the Democrats have, quite frankly, flipped this state. Getting Maricopa County, which John McCain and Mitt Romney won, respectively, when they ran. And now they have a Democrat governor, Democrat senator, Democrat caucusing senator. And it's just this new era where all the Hispanic and all these minorities are now voting in Arizona at record numbers. Well, obviously, you can see in 2022, not record numbers, but they're coming out and voting for the Democrats. Like, going back into the 2018, Maricopa County was red. 2022, Katie Hobbs flipped that. Joe Biden was one of the first. In fact, Barack Obama did not even win Maricopa County when he was in presidency. So I had this feeling that Joe Biden will prevail in Arizona. Not by as much as he would want, but it's just the beginning for the Democrats, in fact. In fact, the Democrats are just in the phase right now where they are starting to win more elections than what people thought. In 2020, the Democrats dominated. Donald Trump lost the presidency, he lost the Senate, and he lost the House. The Democrats just barely won, though, because I feel like there is still a chance for Republicans where they can still hold on to the rope and say, we're not done yet. We still have more elections to go through. This is not the end of us. Now, going to the state of Nevada, we can see Governor Joe Lombardo won last year's governor race by a mere 16,000 votes, which is just astonishing. In fact, quite frankly, I thought Nevada was going to be a safe blue state, but I was wrong. For starters, they only have 1 congressional district, and Nevada, which is mostly the rural area, which that was a pretty gerrymandered, questionable gerrymandering for the Democrats. While the Democrats do carry 3 out of 4 of Nevada's congressional districts, 1 did go to the Republicans. Not that big deal for the Democrats, but it's still saying that there are a good amount of Republicans in Nevada, including they do have the governor, which Governor Joe Lombardo is a Republican. Now, the former governor won the 2018 gubernatorial election in Nevada by 40,000 votes, kind of flipping the governorship in Nevada slowly, but by a good amount where the Republicans, can do pretty well. But not only this, but the Democrats usually only win 2 counties in Nevada, only 2, which are obviously Clark and Washoe County, which is Reno and Las Vegas. Now, I am going to put Nevada on a lean right now. And the reason I say that is because not only the Democrats in Nevada have most of the congressional districts, but they also have 2 Democrat senators. And I feel like the Democrats are just going to hold on to Nevada for some reason. It's just my gut feeling. But quite frankly, what's going to happen in Georgia is, in fact, the opposite. Because in Georgia, I have a feeling that it's not going to, what the Democrats want to happen in Georgia is not going to happen. Governor Brian Kemp is a Republican governor. He's the governor of Georgia. He beat Stacey Abrams in the 2018 gubernatorial election by 54,000 votes. In 2022, the Democrats renominated Stacey Abrams to win in Georgia as the governor. She failed horribly, miserably. She lost by 300,000 votes in 2022, showing you that getting those black voters in 2020 was why Joe Biden won. It's not going to happen again. We can say that now. Although the Democrats do have 2 Georgia senators, but like I said, that was just a one-time thing where I feel like Joe Biden was really pulling out those never-Trumper voters, and he got him, and that's why he won in 2020. But I do have this gut feeling in mind, Donald Trump will win in Georgia. Not by as much as he wants, though, just by a tilt. Because Joe Biden still is going to make it close in Georgia, but he's going to make it even closer than what Donald Trump would want, not in a landslide. Going to the state of Michigan, the home of the automotive, Detroit, all of the GM plants, we can say that in Michigan, it's going to be close, but not what you think. See, Michigan has Governor Gretchen Whitmer, a Democrat, since 2019. She won there in the gubernatorial election in 2018 and re-won election against Tudor Dixon in 2022. Secretary of State in Michigan is Jocelyn Benson, also a Democrat. Attorney General Dana Nessel, a Democrat. Michigan has top Democrats in office. They have 7 Democrat representatives in Congress and 6 Republican representatives in Congress. They also have 2 Democrats in the Senate from Michigan. Now, before 2018, the Secretary of State was a Republican, Attorney General was a Republican, and Governor Rick Snyder was a Republican. 2018 was the turning point for Democrats in Michigan. Joe Biden won in 2020. Barack Obama won in 2008 and 2012. John Kerry won. Al Gore won. Presidents you never heard of because they lost. They never became president, but they still won Michigan. This is proving to us that Michigan is one of the most blue Rust Belt states. And when I say Rust Belt, I'm really mainly talking about Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. Michigan, Joe Biden won by 2.5 points. Pennsylvania, roughly 1. And Wisconsin, less than 1%. Now, former President Bill Clinton gained between his elections. In 1992, he had an 8-point lead over former President George H.W. Bush. And in 1996, he had a 13-point lead over Bob Dole. What does this mean? Democrats have had a long history of good margins in Michigan. because of Detroit, Ann Arbor, maybe Grand Rapids, not so much in Kent County, Kalamazoo, some in the UP, and just really all of the suburbs such as Oakland County, Macomb County, Wayne County, Monroe County, Lenawee County, Washtenaw County. It's just the Democrats do have a good margin there. If we look at the 2020 presidential election in Michigan, we can see Joe Biden was one of the first Democrats to have flipped Kent County, which is where Grand Rapids is located. But Donald Trump also flipped Macomb County, where you can see I'm circling above right there, the small red state, the red county. So it's really, some view it as a toss-up, some may not view it as a toss-up. But what I'm getting out of it is the Democrats likely will win in Michigan, especially if they potentially nominate someone like Gretchen Whitmer or Gavin Newsom. Just all hypothetical. But if they do nominate Gretchen Whitmer or Gavin Newsom, and Gretchen Whitmer is the vice president or the VP on the ticket, they'll win Michigan, no doubt. Because if we look at Gretchen Whitmer's winning history in Michigan as governor, she's had some pretty good margins against Tudor Dixon and her 2018 opponent, which tells us Michigan is bluer than what we think. Going to Pennsylvania, we can see that Governor Josh Shapiro won by 15 points in 2022. What does that tell us? Pennsylvania's blue. Erie, Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, and Philadelphia is where the Democrats want to win and need to win. 2022, John Fetterman, the Democrat nominee, beat Mehmet Oz, commonly known as Dr. Oz on TV. We can see that he beat him by 5 points. That is insane for the Democrats in Pennsylvania, one of the closest and most toss-up states in the country. This is really a game changer that the Democrats won big in Pennsylvania in 2022. They won the governorship. Both Senate seats are Democrats. And in fact, taking a history look, going back in time, Tom Wolf, 17 points, 2018. 2014, Tom Wolf, 9-point lead. Pretty close. Maybe. But what does this mean for the Democrats? So this means the Democrats likely will win Pennsylvania. Narrowly. Joe Biden at 277. What does this mean for Wisconsin? Well, Wisconsin's Ron Johnson is one of the most unpopular senators in the country, narrowly winning re-election in 2022. They also have a governor who's a Democrat and another senator who's a Democrat. Again, I'm going to have to put this a narrow lead for Joe Biden. There is an extreme number of Republicans in Wisconsin. There is a big boost of Republicans in this upcoming years. Donald Trump won Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania all in 2016, but not by that much. Joe Biden will prevail in Wisconsin, just like he did in 2020, but it's going to be even closer. Wisconsin will be just like Florida in the 2000 election. It is going to come down to just several hundred votes. There are a tremendous amount of Republicans in Wisconsin. I feel like the Democrats should be worried about winning in Wisconsin because that is going to be a game changer, along with Pennsylvania. Michigan, they're doing pretty good there right now. Arizona, they're coming in upbringing. The Democrats are starting to win in Arizona. Nevada, another state that they should be worried about because there's a tremendous amount of Republicans there. But Wisconsin is the main one they should be worried about because that will determine the elections. That will determine who wins the presidency. Because, let's say Donald Trump won Arizona. 276 for Joe Biden. Let's say he won Nevada. Joe Biden would need to hang on to Wisconsin Michigan, and Pennsylvania. That will determine the presidency. Donald Trump can win almost every other state, almost, beside the Democrat strongholds such as California. Joe Biden must hold on to Wisconsin to win. He just has to, because if he doesn't hold on to it, there's no pathway for him to win. I'd like to thank you for joining me today and watching me fill out the map into these beautiful colors. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and tune in for our next prediction.